Hef is the main reason why my mom and I have such a good relationship right now, because he kind of picked me up and put me in my place in my life, and Hef is just like the hero in my life.
Welcome back to more Girls Next Door. Today we're recapping Season 2, Episode 5 of The Girls Next Door, titled San Diego or Bust, which aired on August 20th, 2006. And this episode is surprisingly layered. On the surface, it's goofy reality TV fluff. Waffles, tour buses, flashing strangers from trains. But underneath all that, this is really the episode where we finally start understanding Kendra as a real person instead of just the loud, blonde, comic relief character the show often edits her into. Because for the first time, we see where she came from. But before we head down to San Diego, let's crack open the Y2K vault and head back to 2006. And since we already covered the Juicy Couture Industrial Complex last season, today we need to discuss another sacred pillar of mid-2000s culture. Our Y2K reference for today? The celebrity home makeover obsession. 2006 was peak era for Americans becoming weirdly emotionally invested in other people's houses. This was the golden age of MTV Cribs, Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Trading Spaces, Flip This House, and every reality show where someone screamed over granite countertops for 45 minutes. And culturally, homes had stopped being just places you lived. Your house became a public reflection of whether you were making it, especially in the early reality TV era, where suddenly normal middle-class families were being compared against celebrity mansions on cable television every night. Which honestly makes Patti's behavior in this episode make so much more sense. Because Hugh Hefner wasn't just visiting her condo. To Patti, Hugh Hefner represented wealth, status, luxury, class, the literal fantasy version of success the entire 2000s media machine was selling people. Of course she panic-bought furniture. Of course she's scrubbing the condo like a SWAT team inspection is coming. The woman basically thinks Architectural Digest is arriving with a film crew. So let's talk more about the episode, San Diego or Bust, right after you kick off your candies, hang up your trucker hat, and silence your sidekicks.
Hey, it's Holly. Could I have a favor, please?
What's that?
Could I have a San Diego made and sent to Kendra's room?
A San Diego?
Yeah, you make an Eggo waffle, and then you put, cinnamon and sugar, and you mix it together so it looks like sand.
Okay.
Thank you, JD.
All right, you're welcome.
Kendra. Yeah? I got something for you. It's a San Diego.
It was Holly's idea, wasn't it? Yes,
Cecile.
it was Holly's.
The episode opens with Holly wearing a pink and green Juicy Couture terry cloth tunic and tube socks, while calling down to the pantry requesting a San Diego be delivered to Kendra's room. Now, apparently, a San Diego is an Eggo waffle absolutely assaulted with cinnamon and sugar. Mansion butler JD personally delivers the breakfast upstairs while Kendra laughs and immediately guesses Holly sent it. And this tiny interaction is weirdly cute. There's a level of comfort between the girls here that feels more natural than some of the earlier episodes. We learn that Hef and the gang will be accompanying Kendra on a road trip back to her hometown of San Diego, California. Meanwhile, downstairs, everyone is waiting on Kendra because punctuality remains her greatest lifelong enemy. Eventually, Hef has to physically go upstairs himself to speed things along. And I need everyone to picture this visual because it's kind of incredible. Hef stands there in his iconic captain's hat, wearing a Playboy button-up patterned with hundreds of tiny Playboy magazine covers, which instantly triggered a core memory for me because I absolutely owned a tiny purse with this exact print, which I believe I snagged at a hometown TJ Maxx. Mid-2000s fashion really said, what if branding, but everywhere? Before Hef can even speak, Kendra yells, "I'm coming!" And honestly, the energy feels less boyfriend-girlfriend and more exhausted father trying to get his teenager out the door for school, which is a dynamic that quietly hangs over this entire episode.
There's no way that I can bring Hef back to my childhood, but bringing him back to my house and bringing him to San Diego was as close as I can get.
San Diego, here we go.
I'm really excited to get a chance to see where Kendra grew up because you hear her talking about it all the time.
Okay, kids, we're ready.
My mom is so nervous.
Oh, you're kidding.
She's like having a heart attack.
The group heads off in a limo before boarding a train Bridget excitedly informs us is called the Scottish Thistle. Everybody actually seems genuinely happy for once. No weird tension, no passive aggression, just vibes. Well, mostly vibes, because at one point Kendra and Bridget stand on the caboose platform while Kendra starts flashing rail workers. Nature is healing. Meanwhile, in San Diego, Patti and Kendra's grandmother Mary are in full panic mode, preparing the condo for Hef's arrival.
My name is Patti. I'm Kendra's mother, and I live in San Diego. Kendra, Bridget, Holly, and Hef are all coming to my house to have lunch. I'm really not a hostess. I don't cook. I rarely clean. So this is just huge. Just don't touch anything on the walls. I don't want any pictures falling off the walls or the curtain rods coming down. I have bought new furniture, new lamps. I have redone my entire patio. I've had my 80-year-old mother over here dusting and cleaning with me. Does this outside of the door need cleaning?
A yellow Stanley steamer van sits outside while Patti stress cleans like the FBI is about to execute a search warrant. She buys new furniture, new decorations, new serving dishes. At one point, she proudly prepares Hef's special meal, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a hard-boiled egg, which sounds less like celebrity catering and more like something your grandpa eats after saying, "I'm not really hungry." "He'll think I'm a domestic goddess," Patti says while transferring chicken pieces from a KFC bucket onto a serving platter. And this is where the episode quietly becomes kind of sad, because Patti isn't really trying to impress Hef romantically yet, at least not openly. She's trying to prove something about herself, that she's respectable, that she raised good kids, that her life turned out okay despite everything. Because shortly after this, the show begins unpacking Kendra's childhood.
Hef doesn't really get out very often, so it meant a lot to me. It meant the world to me that he came down to San Diego to see where I grew up and stuff. We're close to my house! Before the mansion, before having butlers, before driving in limos all the time, San Diego was definitely different.
When Kendra was 4 and Colin was almost 2 years old, their father walked out and never turned back. So it was just me. So I wound up raising Kendra and Colin all on my own.
My mom raised us by herself, and it was really hard, really, really hard. She went through some crazy-ass times with me, crazy times, and I don't know how she survived that either, you know? But all I know is today, I'm paying her back with respect.
Both Patti and Kendra explain that Kendra's father left when the children were extremely young. Old family photographs flash across the screen showing little Kendra and her brother Colin posing on motorcycles, smiling brightly, before eventually morphing into the eyeliner-heavy rebellious teenager we hear about later. And truthfully, those photos humanize Kendra instantly. Suddenly, the chaos makes more sense. The loudness makes more sense. Even the constant need for attention starts making more sense. There's usually a reason people become the wild one. The episode also reveals something really important about Kendra's support system. After Kendra's father left, Patti's parents moved into the condo next door to help raise the children. And apparently they never left. Kendra affectionately calls them Mom Mom and Pop Pop. And that explains a lot. Kendra's personality always feels split between craving freedom while desperately needing security and approval. You can feel both sides constantly battling each other. Eventually, the group transfers from the train onto an enormous luxury bus because subtlety has never once existed inside the Playboy universe. Kendra immediately worries the bus won't even fit inside her mom's condo complex. And honestly, it's a valid concern.
Well, we're ready. I just have to change my shoes. I wish Kendra would call.
Well, they're not here yet.
I'm gonna call her again.
Try it.
It's my mom. Hello?
Hi, hon.
Hi, we're almost there. You know that bridge? You know that bridge that goes over, Balboa? Yeah, that's what we're gonna be on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're close. They're in La Jolla. All right, well, I'm ready to throw up, so you got to get here so I can...
My mom says she's ready to throw up.
I'm going to throw up and my mouth's going completely dry.
My mom was petrified.
It's not every day you have Hugh Hefner come to your house, Kendra.
Watching this giant celebrity bus slowly crawl into a modest residential area feels like the world's strangest presidential motorcade. Patti and Mary stare in disbelief as it rolls in. Outside on the tiny patch of lawn, introductions are made while Holly politely hands Patti a hostess gift. A bottle of champagne, which Kendra's adorable grandmother will later try to pronounce and struggle while reading the label. Oh, it's champagne, Patti. Crystal champagne. Then comes one of the weirdest moments in the entire episode. Kendra shows everyone her old bedroom while the camera zooms in on a prom photo featuring teenage Kendra holding hands with a blurred-out boyfriend. And the image is so innocent, just regular suburban teenage life. Then Kendra casually says to Hef, "This is the guy I dumped you for, honey." Hef laughs loudly and replies, "Well, thank you for dumping him for me, darling." And whew, this lands very differently now, because suddenly the age gap isn't theoretical anymore. It's literally sitting there in a prom corsage photo staring back at you. Back in season 1 of More Girls Next Door, I talked about how Kendra reportedly left her boyfriend shortly after meeting Hef and moved into the mansion almost immediately. But seeing the actual photograph somehow makes the emotional reality hit harder, because you realize, oh, she was really young. And it's hard not to feel sad thinking about how abrupt her normal adolescence ended. Whatever teenage life she was building basically detonated overnight once Playboy entered the picture.
It was cool to meet the rest of Kendra's family. We'd never met her grandpa, so it was nice to meet him. And it's neat to see them in their environment, because you're always a little bit more at home, and you get a better idea of who people are.
Hef, this is my grandpa, Papa.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
I think it's a little strange that Hef is Kendra's grandfather's age and that's her boyfriend. But once I think that, then I think on the other side. I think he's a gentleman. You don't find gentlemen anymore. He truly cares about her, and you don't find that too much anymore either. I mean, I really think that he's a good man. So tell me about the train ride.
Downstairs, Hef meets Pop Pop, and Patti openly acknowledges how strange the relationship looks, considering Hef is essentially the same age as her own father. But then she says something important. Hef takes care of Kendra. Hef treats her well. He behaves like a gentleman. Which is rare, Patti says. And I think that mindset explains why so many people around Hef normalized relationships that otherwise might have felt alarming. Because compared to instability, consistency can feel safe. Compared to abandonment, attention can feel loving. Compared to financial struggle, luxury can feel protective. Then comes the infamous VHS scene. Out of nowhere, Hef asks to see home videos of Kendra as a child, and Patti conveniently produces a tape already sitting atop the VCR, because reality television absolutely loves pretending spontaneous moments happen naturally.
I think Hef loved watching that video, the home video. I think that was like the highlight, I think, of the whole trip. It made me feel real special that Hef was so into him like he was. I'm really excited that he saw that and he saw my little kid side and he was probably thinking, nothing's really changed, you know? You would think that like I would change dramatically. Dramatically.
Bravo.
The footage itself is actually sweet. Birthday parties, soccer games, family memories. Little Kendra behaves exactly like adult Kendra. Loud, chaotic, constantly moving, giving her grandmother aggressive noogies while everyone laughs. And notably, the family clearly adored her. Every milestone was filmed, every goofy memory preserved. You can genuinely feel the love surrounding her childhood despite the instability. At one point, Hef jokingly hides the VHS tape under his jacket, pretending he wants to steal it. Now, years later on Girls Next Level, both Holly and Bridget admitted this scene deeply disturbed them in retrospect. They felt there was something creepy about Hef watching footage of his much younger girlfriend as a child. And I guess I understand why people feel that way. Viewed through modern eyes, yeah, it is slightly uncomfortable. But I also think this episode reinforces something we've quietly seen throughout the show. Hef often interacted with Kendra differently than the other girlfriends, less like a romantic partner and more like this bizarre combination of daughter, protege, mascot, and girlfriend all at once, which makes the entire dynamic psychologically confusing for everyone involved. Because Kendra herself often seems to view Hef as both provider and father figure, someone who rescued her from instability and gave her access to a completely different life. But regardless of emotional nuance, there's still no escaping how weird it is for a fatherly figure to also be sleeping with the person. That contradiction basically hovers over the entire episode like cigarette smoke in the mansion game room.
Is that Colin and his friends?
Colin, my brother, brought all of his friends in.
Oh, God.
I had no idea Kendra's brother was going to bring all his friends over. It was like the whole high school showed up.
Everybody's over here.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, guys. I'm happy. My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Nobody knew that he was going to bring all those people.
We got the whole school here.
I know.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I think my brother loves the fact that I'm at the mansion. Colin's definitely more popular in school now. Gets all the girls.
After lunch, Kendra's younger brother Colin arrives home with approximately every teenage boy and girl in Southern California. Can we blame him? You're in high school in 2006, and Hugh Hefner just rolled up to your condo complex in a luxury bus. Of course you're bringing the squad. Suddenly, the living room fills with baggy jeans, backward caps, exposed boxers, and the exact energy of a 2006 Blink-182 parking lot. To Hef's credit, though, he's genuinely polite with everyone, taking photos, shaking hands, making conversation. Soon the group piles back onto the bus to sightsee around San Diego, while fans begin to follow them, taking grainy flip phone pictures like they've just spotted an endangered species. And Kendra absolutely loves it. For all her flaws, there's something genuine about her excitement here. She's proud of where she came from, proud to show off her hometown, proud her family gets to experience this surreal moment with her.
Thanks for having us. I feel like I got some insight into Kendra's life before the mansion. And I think it's kind of cute because it's just a lot more quaint than she tries to make it out to be. She's like, yeah, I'm from the hood. She's not.
Bringing Hef home was the best experience I've ever had in my entire life. I have taken boys home before, but nothing was as special as this.
Yeah, thank you.
By the end of the episode, Kendra tearfully says goodbye to her family while Patti jokes that she'd move into the mansion herself if Hef would have her. Which, according to Holly and Bridget years later, maybe wasn't entirely a joke. Both women have suggested Patti seemed genuinely attracted to Hef and believed there was occasionally competitive energy between mother and daughter surrounding his attention. That interpretation somehow makes this already strange episode even stranger. But the episode closes on a surprisingly emotional note. Kendra reflects that while she misses childhood and the freedom that came with it, she understands she's growing up and moving into a different phase of life. And I think that's really what San Diego or Bust is about underneath all the chaos. It's about a girl revisiting the life she escaped from, while trying to convince herself the new one was worth it. And that's where we end today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I want to remind you to subscribe, like, and share this podcast with your friends. Anyone that watched the show back in the day, I believe they're gonna love it. I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you next time.
On the bricks.